All right, friends, will it run? Let's find out right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Rasta Oliver Man. This here is an F12 Farmall on steel. Restored even. If you haven't seen the video, we bought this the other day at an auction. And I've told that story before, but I realize people don't always watch all the videos, so I'll probably repeat some stuff again. But anyway, this tractor was restored years ago by a friend of mine, and then he sold it a couple years ago. And anyway, now I had the chance to buy it back, is the long story short there. And anyway, it has one bad problem which needs remedied, and I did something about that today. See, today has turned into I don't know, it's been not a very good day. Very stressful, stuff not going my way, so I decided I'm going to drop whatever else I'm supposed to be doing and play with my toys, because, yeah. So anyway, what I did, or I'll explain in a minute, I guess, but what happened was one year when this was at the fair, it sat there proudly in the feature area, and all at once one night we noticed it was dripping, and the gas tank started leaking, and it dripped all out and made a mess all over that. And so he put it back on the trailer at the end of the fair, took it home, put it in the shed, and that was the end of it. Now, what do? A restored tractor, there's not a lot you can do without ruining the paint, and then you got to start again. So he tried to repair it, you know, externally. That didn't work. And then when he sold it, I think that the guy who bought it also tried to fix this tank, but he had already bought another tank and sent it along with this tractor when he sold it. So the other day at the auction, I found the other tank was still out there unpainted, and I threw it with the tractor, and it sold with the tractor, and that's great. But then that leaves the same conundrum. What does one do? Because then you've got a tank that doesn't match or whatever. And so I went over and talked to the guy who had fixed this up years ago, and I said, guess what I bought? And showed him, and he said, all right, you know, and he was telling me different stuff, and I said, you wouldn't happen to have any of the paint left over from years ago that a guy could, you know, figure out what color you used? And we looked, and there no such luck. And then he told me where he got it, and I went in there and I took the hood with me, and they said, we can't color match, so you're out of luck. Okay, strike two. So then I decided I would see if the vocational school would do it. I've had them do stuff for me before, so I sent him a picture, and he said, yeah, we can do that. So I took him the hood and the other gas tank, and I just decided to take it today and get it over with so that it was there and they could work on it. So hopefully in a few weeks, we'll get a call that we have a freshly restored gas tank and we can put this the way it's supposed to be. But for now, we are going to just live life with it as it is. Maybe it doesn't leak too bad now, because I have a feeling that guy who had it before us has done something. It looks like he jammed a screw up in it, and I don't know what all else, so I just don't know, friends. It appears like maybe it's actually holding some fluid, so maybe it will be fine. I do not know. That gas smells nasty. It does have gas in it, so okay, so he actually did manage to get it to stop leaking if it's still holding gas. So that's one positive, and there's gas in here. It doesn't look too bad. This tractor's got a fuel pump, so that's also another point of maintenance, you know, that we will have to deal with. But I talked to the guy who originally had it, and he said this tractor always quarter turn of the crank and it would run. He said, so I'm hoping that it still is in that shape, you know. But the first thing we should do before we even attempt anything is to sand the points, because I'm sure they're corroded. And he said the same thing. He said usually you'd have to sand on the points, and then he said you turn this thing on, is the Magneto on and off, but I don't remember which way is what. And of course it's not labeled in any way, but I think he said you turn it left for on, but I might be wrong. I guess we can try it both ways and see which way makes it go pop. Also, we don't want to break anything, because I'm saying we're not getting these pieces in town, you know. Oh, this is the kind that's got like carbons on a spring. Oh, friends. That might not be the cover that the points are behind. The points are probably behind here. We don't want to take this out willy-nilly, because this is a gear drive Magneto. And if we do that, we'll potentially cause ourselves a struggle. Probably not the thing to do, what I'm doing. It's probably not. Okay. I think, like I said, I think that comes off of there, and then the points are behind that, maybe. Maybe we should put, well, it's okay. Not knowing is part of the fun. Yep, the points are behind that. How does this work? Well, I'm not exactly sure, self. Okay, it's got 2 notches in it, I see. Okay, what Ross is gonna do, I was debating on putting that back on first, but no. All right, this is kind of tight, because we gotta get back in there to the back, friends. And I'm not sure how I'm gonna, there ain't no really way that we're gonna be able to film this. I'm gonna have to even, I think, cut this emery cloth down. I don't know what I did with those emery boards, but dang, friends, dang. I think I need more tools to get this. It'd be real handy if the oil filter wasn't in the way. Okay, I think we need a thinking stool and a long screwdriver, and then I can sit there and make this happen. But if we don't do that, we're just going to be hurting our feelings. So we might as well get the stuff we need. So I'll be right back. Let's do that. Let's see if get in there. Boy, this is miserable, isn't it? Okay, let's try that again. Oh, come on, points. I don't know. It's so much difficult to get to that I really just want to make sure that it's gonna work. I don't know, friends. I don't know. Okay. I regret taking this off. You know? I regret it. Don't kid yourself, because this is going to be hard to get this back on. in one piece. That's not the right combination. I guess I gotta tack it. Uh-oh. Okay. I can't be the first guy who forgot and took that off by mistake. Come on, you. All right. Now the question is, ooh, well now it comes off after we struggle bust the whole time, and then it comes off of there. The question is, which way's on and which way's off? Is that way on? I doubt that the internet would know. Also, I realized I immediately messed this all up. I should have put that back down first, because I flipped up that thing and it got in my way. We're figuring it out, friends. It's been a long time since I worked on an international Magneto. Okay, U-12. Okay. I think that right is on. So we should be on. All right. We're going to say that that's correct. Next step in this procedure, according to not just the guy who had it, but another guy that I know that has internationals, is we want to fill this little doogie with gas before we even start. Normally it's bolted to the hood, but since we have no hood right now, we have nothing to bolt it to. So we need to get a smaller bottle probably and fill that up with gas. How much will it take? I don't know. Now, we have to remember not to accidentally drink this, because this is the forbidden Mountain Dew. Now, this is going to be hard to do without making a mess. Essentially what we're doing is filling both the carburetor and all the lines, like back to the fuel pump. Because the way I understand it, that thing is just like an overflow for when the fuel pump pumps more than the tractor needs. So, we'll see what happens there. Alright. Now, we should probably turn. Oh, we should probably take this off, the custom exhaust cap. Let's turn the gas on. I believe that's correct. I don't know how you okay, there's one there too for that little tank. I wonder if the little tank would work if the other tank is not participating. Okay, that carburetor looks like it's leaking, so that's good, right? We should be ready to go. I'm going to put you over here on this failed project. I didn't figure our homework would be simple. Somebody's taken this carburetor off, and then they promptly lost one of the nuts. It's only loosely on here. It's not even on there all the way. That really Makes me say animal noises, people. Now, do we think that what I got to do is I got to pull it up a little to get the nut on there? What I'm getting at is, I bet that I don't have one, because that appears to be a fine threaded 5/16 affair, and I don't think I have any 5/16 fine threaded affairs, but I gotta have one to get under there and put on. I don't know that this one will go between there. Almost, but not quite. Which means that I will then have to take all of these loose to get the carburetor up enough to make this happen. Now, we could very possibly do that and then immediately discover that we have to take the carburetor off anyway because it's got a problem. That's very possible. But I was thinking, wouldn't it be cute if it would just run, you know? Like, why wouldn't it just run? So, anywho, that's a lot of stuff that's on there that hasn't moved in a while. First thing you're going to do is lose your screwdriver. So I've done that. That's successful. The line to the fuel pump is leaking, which means he's had this loose. Probably. Yes. Because he would have taken that thing loose to get the hood off of there, because I was puzzling on that, how he managed to do that. I wonder what else we're going to find that's halfway taken loose. That's unfortunate. So, let me see if I have another fine threaded nut. Otherwise, I'm going to have to get one from town. And then I'm going to have to figure out how I can... I hate to take it apart yet, because I know if we do, we're going to find we got nothing on hand to fix it. We'll take these loose and get that out of there, I guess, and then get that nut slipped in. But I got to find one first. So let me go do that. I'll get more tools so we can tighten up all the stuff we've lost. I might even empty out that sediment bowl and then put fresh gas in it, put it back up, and see what we do there. I guess we might be able to do that right now, friends. Let's see if maybe it's too tight and I need red pliers or something. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. All right. Well, that sediment bowl's, the gasket and everything's working. Okay. Take a quick shot of this. Throw it back like a shot glass. See how long it takes before you die. Brand new gas. All right, we should probably also add a rag to our list of things that we need to get. But it's coming along, don't be discouraged yet. I mean, it's sat for so long that we should probably even, well, I got another idea. This tank actually has a drain, doesn't it? A while ago I messed with it a little. Probably needs a wire stuck up in there or something to free it up. But I'm thinking maybe we should I'm getting some sediment out of there. Maybe we should just go ahead and drain this gas that's in there, if that's what we call it. We'll drain it out and put some fresh in, just a little bit, not very much, because if it leaks we don't want to lose it. But I think that's what we're gonna try. We'll get that fuel system all cleaned up and carburetor back down, and then we'll try it again. Don't look at it while it's doing that. That's personal. Anyway, I managed to find exactly what I needed. Does that ever happen? I found a half nut, fine threaded half nut, which I should be able to get in there if I have two hands and without taking very much more loose. So, can I get that in there? Yes. Can I get it started on there? Remains to be seen. Remains to be seen. Come on. Is it going? Oh, now you can do this. This is what you've been waiting for your whole life. You've been training for this very moment. When some fat moron is going to put you back in use. Come on. Why can't I get this? Did they ruin the threads? And that's why it doesn't have one on it? I mean, what the frick? Come on, get started. There. There! Is it started? I think it is. Now the secondary problem is going to be, how are you supposed to tighten that? That is not very handy. Okay, 12. Can you get in there? Yeah, you can get there. Slow going. I'm not sure about the amount of gasketry that's under here though. Good gravy. I guess they did that because of spacing to this other deal here, but gee. Okay. Oh, that gas doesn't look bad. And there was a lot of it in there. Oh, I guess it's tight. All right. I guess I'll just go ahead and put my own gas in just to be sure I know what's in there. I did have some rust though come out of there first, so it's probably a good thing I did what I did. I don't know. Let's let it do that. I'm gonna give it a shot of brake clean and see if I can make it go pop. Because if we can't get it to go pop here somehow, then I know I'm gonna have to do some more points work. I don't think it did anything, did it? I don't know. I'm not pulling my Knudsen off on this either. We'll figure it out some other way. but I don't hear it go anything. It didn't make a pop or nothing. Oh. I don't know, friends. Cotter pin's missing out of this too, so they obviously had that out. This is supposed to be fun. Well, we ain't getting there. So now the question is, do we not have the points clean enough yet? Probably not. I guess we can go work on them again. The problem is everything on this to do by myself is going to be difficult because I can't turn it and watch it. So that's unfortunate, you know. I wish I had some more help, but I don't. So let's see if that'll, or did I need to go down? Maybe I should go down with it, and then I'll get it into a position where I can't get it back up again. Okay. Yeah, see, a while ago when I did this, I had the, well, that kind of helps. It kind of has more, look up at that angle, I can see some little flakies on it. So let's clean it some more and see what happens. All right, it's done taking a leak, and I just got through cleaning those up again, trying again anyway. Put that back together. So let's put the drain back in and put some clean gas in it. Tank is kindly rusty in it, isn't it? Very possible that it's got rust in the carburetor. Let's give it a little though. All right, we got fuel in there. We got it turned on here. We forgot to tighten that. What did I do with that wrench I brought? I knew I had something else to do. Forgot to do this. All right. I don't know. Are we accomplishing anything? Let's check this out again. We probably need to pour more down this throat hole, because I'd say it's all drained away. Oop. Making a mess. I guess here in a minute, if we don't get results, we're gonna have to pull a plug and lay it out where I can see it while I'm cranking and see if it does the thing. It probably also doesn't like that I have the air tube off of it. Some things are very particular like that. Well, now we're getting somewhere. Okay. Ah, come on. Like that. Well done. Well, Canute, I was just about ready to drive it and then it died. My choke is not doing the thing right. I need to put the cotter pin back in, but it's almost like, okay, that's what I wondered. So this choke is opposite of what you think. In is choke, out is open. So that's part of our issue. I'm gonna have to get me a... Okay, I got a cotter pin in that. We got more troubles though. She's leaking fuel, bad. So he must have had everything loose on it. And Ross doesn't have it loose, or tightened up, I should say. And I bet you that's gonna turn out to be a real struggle bus. Because I don't know how, yeah, that back one's really loose. Awesome, I broke the camera too. I love it when I do that. Okay, now I can get to it. Okay. We're gonna get it figured out, friends. We're fighting the fact that somebody else has had their mechanical hand in this. And that's what we're fighting. But we're gonna make it better, I promise. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to set you down now while I try to get it started again, because I don't want to drop what I'm doing and go get another camera piece. I can lay you there right now so you can look directly into the surface of the sun. Sure. If we do it right, we'll have a fireball here in a minute. All right, let's see if we can make a run again. It does not like that piece put on. So let's take it off for now. Second time I've done that. It is entirely possible that there's a restriction in the air cleaner that probably needs cleaned out. I don't know. It's been a long time. Also, the carburetor probably can use rebuilt, so we'll have to figure out what kind of number carburetor that is and get that done. I also wonder if the Magneto gets hot and then it won't start. Maybe that's what we're fighting. Let's see. It also could be that the fuel pump's not pumping, and that could be part of it. Come to think of it, another thing I wonder is if I'm running it just long enough until it runs my little tank empty somehow. But I don't know, it always looks like there's some fuel in there, but maybe it's not pumping. You know, that's entirely possible, I suppose. There, it's leaking again. Now that would be the would that be the suction side? No. Yes, that's the fuel inside. Very interesting. There is some schmutz in there. I don't know. I'm going to mess around with it and I'll bring you back in a little bit. All right, friends. It's later. I put the horse cart before the thing again. I should have checked the water. This character apparently had something against, you know, putting antifreeze in stuff and leaving it. And everything is dry. The G was dry, which I chalked up to water pump. Why he messed with this one, I'll never know, because the guy that restored it, I'm sure it was perfectly fine. So maybe it's leaking somewhere, I don't know. But we're gonna see. Maybe it only needs topped off, I don't know. I just know I couldn't see it down in there. So I was very frustrated. So I mixed up some antifreeze and we're gonna see where it goes or how much it takes. I don't see anything running on the ground yet, so that's good. But figure out why. Why can we not have stuff the way it's supposed to be? That's a little bit frustrating. Now I see it's dripping. So maybe it really did run away. Or is it dripping because he never tightened the drain plug? That's what he did. Oh my gosh. I am so frustrated today. It's just ridiculous. I mean, it's not going to quit dripping. I know it's not. It won't quit dripping until I take that out, lose whatever I put in just now, and then wrap some tape around it or whatever and go again. That's where we're headed here. So sure, I just don't know. I was so excited and I wasn't thinking straight, but you know, you kind of figure that why would that have been done? I mean, there's no reason for it. So whatever, I'll go get some stuff and we'll tape that plug, I guess, and then we'll see what happens. Maybe it's gonna quit. Is it gonna quit now? Probably not. I probably better just get some stuff. All right, friends, we're gonna try this one-handed. In other words, I'm gonna get this plug out, hold my finger over it, and then see if I can. Okay, I don't regret that just now either, because some chunks of stuff flew out. So now the question's gonna be, can I do this? Probably if I had used the other hand, I would have been in better shape. It goes to squirting every so often when I move my finger wrong. Friends, we just we create a mess for ourselves every day, and then everybody else has got something for me to do, and that is getting really super frustrating. Is that gonna stop now? I hope. Or is it still too wore out and it needs more? I probably, if I would have had a I don't have the red pliers, and I need them. I need you red pliers. I can't get a good, if I had even an adjustable wrench that I could use to pull that just a shade tighter. Oh well, if it leaks out, it leaks out. I'll just have to put more in. It's only money, you know? It's only money. I'm sure that plug is brass, so we want to do the right thing and, you know, really wrench on it. I'm sure that's also still leaking. I guess I will drain it back out, wrap that up with tape, and go again. I thought, wouldn't it be fun to drive it, you know? Wouldn't that be fun? A simple goal in life. But instead, we can't have that goal. We have to have the most difficult struggle bus ever. Oh well, good. It's gonna piss out in kind of a fountain shape, so we can catch a lot of it, hopefully. Maybe this is good for it. Maybe it's kind of a flushing action. I see some rusties coming out, so okay, whatever. We saved approximately half. That's what we saved. That's okay though. I'm fine with that. It's only money. Can't take it with you. Could spend it on tractors though. So it sucks when you waste it. And the cool part is that's actually part of the radiator itself. It's not part of like a replaceable elbow or anything. So if it doesn't work, then you got to take the whole radiator off and have it worked on, you know? I think we'll get it now though. Whoever says that pipe thread doesn't need any kind of sealer hasn't lived in the real world, because this is a perfect example of that. This is pipe thread, but it will not seal without something. And if it still acts up, the next time we mess with it, we're gonna take that out and we're gonna JB weld in some kind of drain or a nipple or something, and we're gonna make it where it doesn't leak. So you better hope that it better make up its mind to participate. Let's try this again. Well, it looks more promising this time. There's some antifreeze. Yeah, it's leaking other places too, isn't it? Where's it leaking now? It's leaking out of this hose. I wonder if he had that loose too for some reason. I wouldn't put it past him at this point. Well, we're gonna let that one drip and we'll just move on, because I don't know. If it leaks, leaks all out, we'll take it down. I don't really understand this either, to get it to go under there. There we go. I thought we did. There we go. Okay. All right. We're going to walk away from that. Now, whilst we're into this, it occurred to me, I bet that it's never had the oil changed. And at this point, do we even know if it has oil in it? Because this guy, I don't know. So the way you do that on these, you probably can't see, but there's two little drains on the oil pan on a Farmall. And so we're going to turn it open and see if it's even got oil in it. None. Well, there it comes, yeah. It's very nasty, fuely oil, which is what I figured it would be. So, thinking ahead, like a carpenter who makes stairs, you know, thinking one step ahead, I bought a filter element a while ago, and I guess we'll try to change it. I don't know nothing about a Farmall, but we're going to hope that the filter I got actually does the thing, because it's a goofy looking mother. So let me see if we can, I don't even know what I need. Okay, pipe plug. So, okay, I'll get a bucket. I'll get my oil and filter. I think I read that it takes 5.5 quarts, so basically 6 quarts, 1.5 gallons. So we will get the stuff and make this happen. All right, now me, knowing nothing, you know, oh, it does have an oil pressure gauge. I was just gonna say, I would be kind of puzzled if it didn't, but unfortunately I didn't make it back around here and look at that while it was running, so I know nothing. Okay, put that in there. I bet there's a drain or something that you can empty this out instead of doing what I'm doing. Okay, the bigger end goes down, and then let's just put that in the bucket. I don't care. Okay, some of the paint is flaking off, causing us some issue. There is a rubber piece, which I bet I'm going to regret pulling that up, but it's so rickety. Oh, and then I hung it on the two things. That's fine. Ooh, that's kind of nasty. Obviously, it hasn't been changed since it's been painted, because the tractor has done nothing, you know. When my friend had it, it basically just went to the fair every few years. So I'd say it never got an oil change. But it's very obvious to me that I need to clean this a little bit. I cannot, in good conscience, leave that like that. So, does Ross have a rag handy? I don't know, but we'll get something. This old motor might not be in very good shape, because I see little sparklies kind of on it. Maybe that's just the way they are. We're just gonna ignore it. We're just gonna get the most we can off of it. All right, we're coming along. I'm going to pull the drain plug out and let this percolate out of here. Man, it breaks my heart whenever I do something on this. Whenever I do something, the paint comes off, but it's gotta be done. All right, we're gonna let that sit there and drain whilst we put this filter back in. Hope you can see. Don't know, don't care at this point. I'm gonna go for it. I'm covered with all kinds of trash, so okay. That looks right. Like it goes like that. I need to put that rubber thing on there. I guess the can goes. I'm not real sure how that works. I'm guessing the can is supposed to go on the outside of that, the rubber, or does it just smush down on it? I'm not real sure. Kind of looks like a sketchy setup, but as previously stated, that's what it's supposed to have. So I don't really know if that just tightens down on there and it's supposed to flatten it out. I don't know about this. This kind of seems a little bit sketch to me. I just wonder if that's really sealed. I guess we'll know when we run it and it spits up all over the place. I don't know. But the oil needed change bad. You can tell it was full of gas. Put the drain plug back in. Okay, we should be filling it here. So I would have thought that there was a piece of rubber in there, but guess not. I guess not. Okay. Well, we know it's going to take one, so we'll put in 1.5, then we'll test it. That's getting pretty close. Let's check it. Check it by turning that out of there. I don't think it's there yet. There it's coming, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. All right, we should be good to go. We'll run it and check it. Or in theory, I say we're going to run it. It may not run again. But I think why it quit a while ago is because it got too hot. But, I mean, it doesn't have a temperature gauge. It's just a, you run it and you hope for the best type of situation. All right, it did not like this a while ago. So we're gonna have to get us a, I would say before this is done, I'll end up rebuilding the carburetor and the fuel pump, which it shows that that stuff's available from like Steiner, so we'll do that. There went a hose clamp for no reason, and it went way far away. I heard it bounce and disappear, but that's okay. You know, we didn't need it to work out. We'll just get a new one. Let's check this little dude again. Or I thought we would. I guess we won't. Things are just fighting Ross at every turn. I still see some fuel down in there. So that's probably good. That means we got a lot of the leaks stopped. He says as he immediately overflows. I'll get better at that, I promise. See, these old timers, believe it or not, they had to be pretty patient fellows, because This is a long process to get this to start. I mean, I guess if you were using it every day and it was in tip-top shape, it probably would work better. But I don't know, friends. I don't know. I'll just put you there. You can maybe see the fan run or something. I gotta remember now, choke is actually down, and not choke is that way. So, and we got throttle, we got neutral. Let's see what happens. Oh, why don't you run, baby doll? I heard a zap. Did you hear a zap? A zap like it's arcing out. Yeah, what am I supposed to do, tractor? If you're arcing out, does that mean I got to replace all this plug wires? Oh, dummy. I know what that pop was. Well, we had it and then we lost it, you know? There we go. I need to back it off a little. Let's drive it before we miss the opportunity. Holy canoes. This is worse than the this is worse than that other one, that cock shut. As far as where to put my foot, I mean, well, I made it this far. I made it from over there to over here before it died. Unfortunately, it, oh my gosh. Another tractor that's not made for a big guy. And I don't really know why it died either. Again, it's like it just shut down. It definitely needs carburetor rebuilding. I mean, it's just not, it's not at its best we can try to start it again. Let me go grab some stuff. Unfortunately, see, you can't quickly pull out the choke because the choke is all the way over here. All right, neutral. I got to put you down. Sure, it's gonna die again, but will it idle? Sure. Got good oil pressure. I gotta get down off of here without killing myself. It's gonna die again, but good oil pressure. Doesn't look like it's shooting out oil anywhere. Will it go any faster? Wide open. It needs to run is what it needs. It's been sitting so long. See, that's it. That's all she wrote. That's okay though. We got to hear it run. We got to drive it a little bit. And now we know what else it's gonna need. We'll put that other gas tank on. That'll hopefully fix some of our cloudy fuel situation. That ain't very pretty looking. Also, like I said, I think the fuel pump needs rebuilt because it seems like it's not keeping up here. I tried cleaning those, taking those little things out and making sure that was clean, but see, this little doohickey's dry, and when it runs dry, then the tractor dies. So another thing is we should probably take that carburetor off and rebuild it properly, because obviously properly was not in the vocabulary of the previous owner. So, you know, I don't blame him. It's just a toy, and it's aggravating when you got to crank start them and that, and people don't get excited about it. But if you don't keep them in good shape, then it's no fun, because it's twice as hard to crank them and start them if they don't want to participate. So it's a lot better to have it the way that it's supposed to be. But we'll clean that carburetor and give it a proper rebuilding, and then we'll perhaps we'll see how it does. It kind of quit dripping now, didn't it? But we may have to take that loose again. We may have to drain some water out and clean this all up and redo it, because it's leaking out of that hose, like in between the hose and that cast piece. But like I said, now that it's hot, it's kind of quit. But I don't know. It seems to run good when it runs, but it doesn't want to run all the time, and that's because it's not getting enough fuel. And there's our Magneto. We've never had to shut it off yet because it never ran long enough. But no, I'm happy with it. It's just I knew I'd have to do some work to it to bring it back around, because it's been totally neglected in the last years. I mean, it never went anywhere or did anything. I'd say it sat in the building, and that's where it sat. And, you know, he was messing with it, I guess, but I wonder if he ever had it running. I just wonder. I also wonder if it got stuck too, and then he unstuck it again and whatever, because it does kind of, every so often it hiccups. But again, like I said, what I'm saying is like a valve issue, like it backfires through the carburetor. But that again would be like, you know, if it would run a while and get good and hot, it would probably do it a world of good. So yeah, anyway, we got to hear it run, we got to see it drive, and so we'll table this now. We'll work on it again. I'll get some parts ordered, and when that tank comes back, I'll get decals ordered, and we'll put the new tank in, and we'll have the hood back on. They might paint the hood too while they got it so that those two pieces match, and then, you know, that is what it is. I don't know what they'll end up doing, but they do good work, so we'll see when it comes back. But for $575, I think we got something here. I mean, we just need to do a little bit more to it to bring it back around, because it's done absolutely nothing in the last 20 to 30 years. You know, and my friend had it. It went to the fair, and I don't know that he even really drove it on the trailer a lot of times. I think a lot of times he just winched it on the trailer and then rolled it off at the fair. Maybe he started it up and backed it in to where, but it never sat there and ran for an hour at a time. So it would be good for it to do that. I'd love to get it, you know, where I could like run a sheller or something with it and take it to the fair and do that, because it's a cool old tractor. These old things on steel, I really, I like stuff like that. I mean, you wouldn't like it if you had to do it every day, just like me cranking it now. That's kind of a pain, but overall, I think we're all right. We have accomplished something, and we got done what I set out to do today, which was to hear it run and drive it around a little bit. I would have liked to drive it more, but it's just not there yet. So we will work on that. And like I said, I'll bring you back some other time for doing all that stuff. But until then, friends, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. After watching what you just saw, do you feel like your IQ has dropped lower than your credit score? Well, there's no reason that both of us should be miserable, so go ahead and hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. That stuff costs you nothing, and it really helps me out. Your banker may not approve, but I know mine will. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.